NCT 911 implemented Text-to-9-1-1 in January of 2013. We were the first in the state of Texas to implement Text-to-9-1-1. LeAnna Russell, I am the 911 data manager, and I've been with the programs for 22 years, September 7th. So in 2013, we implemented Text-to-9-1-1 in Wise County, and then we brought it through the other PSAPs around the region. So the funny story behind Text-to-9-1-1 and how I got involved. So Christy and I were sitting in her office, and she's like, oh, we're going to start looking at Text-to-9-1-1. And I'm like, why would anybody ever text 911? That's ridiculous when you can make a phone call. And I was the naysayer. I was the one who said, that's ridiculous. I can't believe we're going to do this. Why would we want to do this? And she said, good. She goes, you're the naysayer? She goes, so it's your project. So I started working with the technical team because we had to figure out how to get it there, and one of our providers was actually offering it, and Verizon was the first one to answer the call when we put our request. And so we decided we were going to use Verizon as our test bed. Wise County was nice enough to let us go in and use their PSAP as the guinea pig and the first. And so that's where we started. Now, it took a while. So it took about 2 years to get it implemented throughout the region because it was voluntary. We didn't force anybody to do it if they weren't ready. A lot of people were very concerned that it was going to overwhelm their PSAP with calls. That was the one thing we hear. And that's the thing we hear today is people are afraid it's going to overwhelm, but it's like 0.5% of the calls sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's more than VoIP, sometimes it's less than VoIP, depending on where you are. But it was a crazy time for us because first off, we thought it was going to work like wireless works today. So we had a big learning curve to learn that it doesn't work like wireless works today. And everything that our whole entire test plan we had to throw it out the window because we expected it to work just like our wireless currently works. And the big difference is it works based on the center of the centroid for a wireless call instead of we predetermining where it's going. So that was a big difference. That was a big obstacle for us to get around and wrap our heads around for us because we had these whole test plans. We were going to go out and test all these child care centers, the schools, and everything else. And we just knew where it was going to go. And when we started finding out that it was different than what we had been dealing with since 2003, we kind of scrapped our plans and just said, okay, so we know this is how it works, but there's no way we can go in and test everything. So it was a fun project. It was very satisfying project for me because we are able to help so many people. Now, we did not get our first, so we started implementing in January of 2013. And we did, first we did Wise County and then we did Collin County. We did not get our first real call until October 19th when McKinney got their first actual Text-to-9-1-1. So it was 10 months, almost 10 months and 2 weeks actually. And then probably our biggest success call on it from Text-to-9-1-1 is with Seagaville, where they actually had a Spanish-speaking family violence call. That's probably our biggest success. And our other big success, I keep forgetting about this one. Our other big success is a lady was kidnapped in Greenville in an RV with her child and her estranged husband. And he had kidnapped both of them. He was driving down Interstate 30 and she was able to text. She was kidnapped in Greenville. She contacted Rockwall because that's about the time that she texted. Rockwall got some help out to her. She threw her child out of the moving vehicle. So they were actually able to rescue her child. And they finally shut down the pursuit here in Arlington, right not far from where our district offices are. So that's probably, that's a huge success story too, where Text-to-9-1-1 actually saved some lives.